I'm very excited to be giving this presentation on how to use hard drives and thumb drives as well. So to start off, what are hard drives and thumb drives? An external hard drive is just a hard drive, just like the one that is inside of your computer, but it is on the outside of your device. They are used for storing lots of large files or even whole backups of your data from the device. Alternatively, thumb drives, otherwise known as USB keys or even memory sticks, are smaller storage devices that are used for storing portions of data. Why would you want to use an external hard drive? External hard drives and thumb drives are a great way to do many things, including, firstly, freeing up space on your computer by storing items outside of the device. It also helps to keep an extra backup of your data so that it doesn't get lost if, say, your computer crashes or if you have some technical difficulties. You can also transfer large files from one device to another if you're, say, switching between computers. And you can keep your data safe from being stolen. And lastly, you can also have access to your files offline, which means that it's not in the cloud. There are different types of hard drives. There are two main types, including hard disk drives, or HDD, or also solid state drives, SSD. To start off, I'll be going over what HDD is. HDDs work by storing your data on a disk or sometimes a platter, and when plugged in, the disk starts to spin, allowing the drive to read and write and have those capabilities with your data. The speed at which you can store and read data on your drive will depend on how fast the disk spins. And overstoring on your hard drive can cause it to slow down, and then the speed at which you can access your data will be reduced. The second type, SSD, or solid state drives, are a newer form of storage that don't actually have moving parts like HDD, as it is indicated in the name, solid state rather than the disk one. So it doesn't actually move. It stores data on chips rather than on a magnetic disk like the other version. And SSD drives are faster as they don't get overworked like HDDs tend to. And since they do not have any moving parts, such as the disk whirring around, they are completely quiet, which is definitely a benefit. However, they do tend to be more expensive per byte of storage. Next, I will be going over the different types of thumb drives. There are two main types of thumb drives, and this includes the traditional thumb drives and also flash drives. I'll first be going over a thumb drive. So the thumb drive uses solid state storage, same as SSD, as I explained previously, but they have less storage because they are smaller. They are very good for storing a good deal of data, such as photos, videos, and other files that you may have. An alternative is the flash drive. Flash drives use compact flash storage, a type of high-speed magnetic memory. This form of storage is also great for storing photos, videos, and other files. If you are just storing these files for casual, personal use, then either option is great. But if you are doing a lot of moving around and speed is a priority, then flash drives are the better choice in that scenario. Now, before buying one of these devices, you always want to ask yourself, how much storage do I really need? If you are storing just smaller documents, such as Word files and some photos, you probably do not need more than 200 gigabytes of storage maximum. But if you are trying to store a lot of photos and videos, or something such as backing up your entire device, then you probably need anywhere between 512 gigabytes and 2 terabytes of data to have on that device in order to meet your needs. Getting up to 12 terabytes is probably only necessary if you have a lot of big video files that you are working with. For example, on a daily basis, if you do a lot of video editing or you want to just save a lot of videos. Now I will go over a few steps on how to actually save files on your hard drive. There are some discrepancies between different devices, depending on which one you have, depending on your computer, but these are just some basic steps to help you understand the process. So firstly, you want to plug your drive into the USB port on your computer. Some computers do not actually have this port, such as the new MacBooks, so you do have to have an adapter in order to do this, but that is specific to your own computer. The next step is to click on Finder if you have a Mac, or if you're on a Windows device, then Explorer, and then locate the drive. The next step is to copy and paste any files or folders that you want from your Finder, or if you're on a Windows Explorer, onto that drive. Lastly, always make sure to eject the drive before unplugging it in order to avoid losing any data, because that would then just defeat the purpose of the device. Here in the bottom right-hand corner is a screenshot from a Mac computer. And once you go into Finder, you will see all of these menu options on the side. And then once you have the hard drive plugged in, you'll be able to see a certain device under locations. And this would be, for example, your USB stick or whichever other type you're using. And then you're able to just copy and paste in the files. There are some great alternatives to external drives if you don't want to spend the money or you feel like it's just not something that's suited for you. If you would prefer to store your data on the cloud, there are many different programs that can allow you to do this. This includes iCloud, Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox, just to name a few. And when you receive a copy of this presentation, you can click here, which is just the link, it's underlined in blue, to watch a past webinar on cloud storage, though we do have other webinars on things such as Dropbox as well. You can just search it up on the website. Now I'll be going over some differences between external storage and cloud storage, just so that you can see both sides. To start off, cloud storage is more portable and can be accessed from any device. Since it is just in the cloud, it's not a tangible object that you would be carrying around with you. One thing about external drives is that you do run the risk of losing or damaging them because it is a handheld thing, and if you drop it or it breaks, then that would therefore make it a lot harder for you to access your data. Cloud storage may be more susceptible to breaches in data, just because, for example, Google Drive, if somebody has your password to your Google account, they can simply go into it and take your files or do things with your files. Though by having a strong password, this can be avoided or nearly would not be very common. Some people are more comfortable knowing that their data is within something physical and tangible that they can just hold. So there are pros and cons to both, as you see as we go down the list. Also, external hard drives are more oriented to computers and do not always work with smartphones or tablets. So they aren't necessarily accessible for all devices that you have. And if you're transferring between, say, a smartphone and a computer, it would be a lot easier to use the cloud storage application. If you're not able to plug in the hard drive, it would be a lot easier. So it kind of makes it easier to access your files across a wide range of devices like smartphones, tablets, and computers. Also, cloud storage is a monthly or yearly payment, whereas hard drives are just a one-time payment that you buy at the store. But if you're not using a ton of storage, for example, on Google Drive, you do get quite a bit for free. So you can find ways around this monthly or yearly payment, but that also depends on what you're using it for. One last thing is that you can set up automatic syncing with cloud storage, which is another great feature. I will now be going into the first portion of our live demonstration that goes along with this topic. And that's going to be just showing you how to actually purchase a hard drive or external drive online. For this specific demo, I'll be going to Best Buy because Best Buy has some really great options. So to get here, you would just go into your search engine and type in Best Buy into the browser. Then the first one that comes up, you can just click on it and you'll be entered into the store. To find something that you're looking for, if you're specifically looking for something such as a flash drive, thumb drive, SSD, or HHD, as I explained in the presentation, you would just go to the search bar because it's much easier to find what you're looking for. I'll start off by going over flash drives. You can just type in flash drive and click enter on your keyboard. And then it will load. And then something that's really great about Best Buy is that you can actually shop by capacity. So if you're looking for a certain amount of storage, you can just click on any one of these categories, and it will then help you narrow down your purchase from the very beginning. So if I'm thinking I just want to save a few photos, I would just click on 8 gigabytes. And then you can see the top selling products. There are a few different pages for the top sellers, but if you're interested in taking a more holistic view of all of the options available, then you can just scroll down and you can see all of the results. For this specific flash drive with 8 gigabytes of storage, there are 17 results that we can choose from. One that I'm interested in is one that would connect to my phone. So I'm going to click on it. And from there, you can, of course, add it to your cart and then purchase it. But also, I want to draw your attention to the overview section as well as the more information section. Here you can see very crucial information about the product, which you may want to go over before you read it, before you purchase it, sorry. For example, since I want one that's compatible with an iPhone, I would want to make sure that it is actually compatible with the iPhone that I have. So if I have an iPhone 11, this would actually not be a good product to buy because it says it's not compatible with it. So always check that it's the product that you want. And then you can also just read this overview to learn more about the product itself. Then there's more about the details, some info from the manufacturer, and then customer reviews, which are also sometimes good to read, just to see how other people liked it as well. Next, I will be going over finding a thumb drive that suits you. You would simply just search it up in the search bar again, and then I would highly recommend shopping by capacity just to narrow it down. And this time I'm looking for something with 64 gigabytes of storage. Then there's the top selling products, and I'm interested in looking at more, so I can just scroll down and see the 42 results available. And once you find one that you're interested in, you can just click on it, the same as last time, and then you can just read more info below. There are also SSD external drives, solid state, which are the ones that do not make any noise. And you can see that there's a lot of options from Best Buy. So you can just scroll down and look at all the different options. And you can see that they have top selling products here. You can scroll through the pages to find one that interests you. Or you can look through the 3,000 results that come up, though I do not recommend this, that might take all day long. But if you're interested in one of them, you can just click on it. And again, always make sure that you click the correct capacity and that you're learning more about the product before you buy it. I do believe that there are also services where you can connect with people at Best Buy who work there. If you're having trouble finding what's perfect for you, you can always talk to someone in the store. And then finally, another version of the external drive, you can just scroll down to find it. And once you find one that you're interested in, you can click on it and then you can add it to your cart as well.
As you guys can see right now, I'm on my desktop and I will put the hard drive and the USB port on my computer. So now it automatically takes me, so this is what my computer does. It automatically takes me to my Windows Explorer and to the hard drive. So if you want to manually get that, you have to, yeah, so I will exit this. Just a second. Yeah, so I will exit this here. And to access the File Explorer, you can go down to your taskbar. So here you can see this yellow folder. This is where your File Explorer is. Or you can just search it. You can search File Explorer and you can open it from the search bar. So this is where my File Explorer is, and it takes me to Quick Access. So now to access the hard drive, I go to this PC, so this personal computer, and it'll show me my C drive, which is the computer storage, and it'll show me my hard drive, which is Seagate expansion drive. So this is your D drive. And as you can tell, it says 931 gigabytes free of 931 gigabytes. So that's the full storage. So when I open it, this is all the stuff I have on my hard drive. This is a new one, so I don't really have anything here. So I'll show you how to add stuff now. So let's say I have a folder here on my computer. It's called tests. So I want to transfer all these tests from my tutoring lessons to my hard drive. So I will just select these. So I can just select all of these. I will right click and copy. You can also cut it if you want to remove it from your computer and just transfer it to the hard drive. But right now I'm going to be copying it. So I just press copy and I go to my hard drive. I can make a folder, another folder here. So to make a folder, you right click, go to new and click folder. And I will call this folder tests. So now if I go on the folder, right click again, and I can paste all the tests I downloaded. Well, not downloaded, copied from this test folder in my computer, and I pasted them in the test folder on the hard drive. So now, let's say now I removed my hard drive, and it automatically closes the File Explorer. Now, if I go on it again, it'll just show me my C drive. So the hard drive option will disappear. So now if I plug it in again, I plugged it in again, it'll show me the hard drive option. Here it took me here again, and my test folder is here. Now, to take something from the hard drive folder and paste it on your computer, it's the same process. So you just right click, you copy, and let's say I want to paste it on my desktop. I just go to my desktop and paste it. So I right click and paste it there. It's pretty much like the folders on your computer. It's the same thing. You just have to insert your hard drive and take it out. And this concludes our presentation today.